Hey guys, Jesse here. Today I'm gonna show you live how I would do product research for Google Dropship. So we're gonna be researching some fashion products, but the same applies to all the other products. So what we always start off with, that is the Google Keyword Planner. So this is where we're gonna find our keywords, which we're gonna sell and which gets good search volume on Google, because that's really important, guys. Like, you can create demand on Google, but I would say for beginners, it is much more easy to get keywords that are already searched for. We're gonna start off here. I'm gonna press on this light bulb, then we're gonna be searching in the UK. So this is English default and in the UK. So let's say here you can press in as many keywords as you want. So you can do dress, loafers, whatever you can find with ChatGPT with your own head. This is where you want to be validating them. So let's say we put in dress. So we'll get the results here. Dress gets a lot of search volume, as you see, guys. Over 200,000 search volume every single month, which is really a lot in Google, I would say. But you have different types of dress. So you have, for example, just the word dress. You have wedding guest dress, that's doing really well. This one is prom dresses, summer dresses. These things all do very well, guys. But what are we gonna do now? So we have the keywords that are doing well. We have validated them. Let's say in a market as UK. If it's not very specific but kind of broad and generic, everything needs to be at least 20k plus, I would say. If it's very specific, like a suit or something else, it can be less, because that's just more, it's less specific. So if it's broad, you want it to be more search volume. If it's really niche, then it can be a little bit less, then the volume is still good enough. Okay, so we have the volume part ready. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna validate when products will get sold. So this is the most important thing, guys, because if your feed is outdated, you will never be able to sell with Google. Your feed is the most important thing. Your feed is your targeting. So let's say we have a dress. We always press the country that we're gonna sell in, the past 5 years, categories, and it's gonna be like this. So as you can see here, in January, obviously dresses do not get that much search volume. Why? Because it's cold in the UK. But as we move to May and June, this is when the real peak starts. As you can see here, you have another peak in October. Why would you think that peak is? Probably because people already are buying dresses. For example, New Year, Christmas, stuff like that. It can already be bought, because that's also a very big moment for those people to buy dresses, I would say, is for New Year, for Christmas. This way you can really play on trends as well. You have certain types of dresses that really sell well in, for example, New Year or Christmas. Then you have summer dresses like a maxi dress, stuff like that. So you can get more nitty-gritty into it. As you can see here, peak is always in June. So when do you want to start adding these products to your store? Well, that would be here, guys. That would be around May/middle of April. That is when you really want to be able to start adding those dresses to your store. If you don't do that fast enough, you're gonna be pretty late. Like, if you already have a big momentum, then it's fine to add it later. But if your store is still struggling, I would say add it at least 4 to 6 weeks before the big peak is. That's gonna be a baseline, guys. Okay, so we have the keyword set up. We know when the trends are. What are we gonna do next? Well, next we're gonna need to find the good stores. And how we're gonna find the good stores? We're gonna reverse engineer. So we're gonna search ourselves in the Google Shopping categories. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press in dress, for example. So here we're gonna see a lot of dresses. All these stores might be dropshippers, they might not be. What we're gonna do is we're gonna press on this one, and we're gonna see this one. I would say is not really a dropshipper. Let's skip this one. I would say this is a big dropshipper. So what you do is, for example, we look at this store, Ella Boutique, this store, and this store, and the boutique is also the same. Okay, so we have those two stores. Okay, so we have two stores now ready. What are we gonna do? We're gonna validate these stores. How are we gonna validate these stores? Well, validation happens if these stores are doing well. So how are we going to check if they are doing well? Well, we go through SimilarWeb, or we use this extension called Shop Detector, and then we see the visitors here. So this nothing but style store is already doing pretty solid. If it says 40 to 50k visitors here, that means roughly it does around 80 to 100k visitors, I would say. When they do 100k visitors with a 2% CVR, that's like 2k orders with like a 50 AOV. Not too good at math, guys. 2k times, that's like 100k. Yeah, it's 100k. So this store does at least 100k revenue, guys. So what we're gonna do is let's say we're looking for dresses. We go to all the dresses and we're gonna categorize by, okay, so they don't have this. What you can do usually on these stores is if you go to the dresses collections, so like this, you can always categorize by best selling. So what we then always do is, let's say these are the best sellers. We're gonna steal these off. These are gonna be our best selling products in our store because they're already validated by other store that is doing well. So this is our process. We start off with the keywords, then we're gonna validate when we should start listing these products. So we're looking for the trends because this is the most important thing. Then we're gonna reverse engineer. We're gonna go into the Google Shopping. We're gonna go search for all these dropshipping stores that are selling these dresses, for example, or it can be anything else. Then we go into their collection page. We're gonna see which dresses are their best seller. If the store is already doing, I would say they need to do at least 30k visitors. If they do not do 30k visitors, it's not worth looking. That's how we find the stores. They need to be good, 30k visitors. Then we take all their products, guys. So we take their dresses. We can even, with a tool like PP Spy, we can even look at what kind of dresses are their best sellers. So these are their products that are their best sellers. We can even take these guys. Like, it's very simple. As long as your store is good, you can take most of the products and they would perform well. As you can see here, this is their best selling dress, and here it's also their best selling dress. So you know that this method works. So we have these products. What are we gonna do now? So what you're gonna do, every time you find a store with 30k visitors, you write it down. You make like an Excel sheet, you write down these stores. In the UK, I found these stores. In Germany, I found these stores. Everywhere where you're gonna be searching or doing product research in, you're gonna be writing down the stores, and once per week, you're gonna check up on them. And what you can do, what is really smart, you can look at their newly added. Maybe they have spotted trends that you have not seen. In this sense, let's say they are selling denim now. Maybe denim is doing really well in this season. So what you want to do is always check up on the good competitors as well, because they are doing their product research probably very well. So you can literally copy products that they are listing because they have very validated stores. The most important thing is that you validate the trends, validate the keywords, and then also validate the stores. Everything has to be doing well, otherwise your product research will not be good, guys. And that's basically the only process getting good products. It's very simple, it's very easy, and it's very straightforward. So yeah, that's it, guys. I think you can learn a lot from this because a lot of you guys will overcomplicate it, but it is just as easy as it is, I would say. So I'll see you in the next video where we'll be going through Shopify store building. So I'll see you there. Ciao, ciao.